Cluckin' Nuts Homestead. My name is Nikki. And part of having animals and running a homestead, there are times you really gotta make some hard decisions. And that's kind of what we are at right now, is that we're having to make some hard decisions for our goat herd as well as our rabbits. Sometimes it's for the betterment of the animal, and then sometimes for us. That's kind of where we're at about our goats, is that we're going to have to make a hard decision about one of them and what to do with them for us, because it's a trait that they have that we do not want to pass on through the herd. And then for our rabbits, this decision that we have to make for her is for her, is for her health and well-being. But it doesn't make it easier. So the decision that we have to make concerns Mr. Milk Dud here. So a couple weeks ago, we were kind of checking him over, him and Lucky, and we noticed something on Milk Dud. Something that is a huge disqualification for a registered line. It also affects our breeding, because it is a trait that we do not want him to pass on. So Milk Dud has double nipples, which means he has 2 nipples on each side. Especially with us raising registered lines, we don't want that to pass through. And if we ever decide to start showing, that is a huge disqualification for showing. So because of this defect that he has, we have decided that we are going to be weathering Milk Dud, which basically means that we are going to be banding him. We are going to be castrating him so that this defect can't go any further. And we will be pulling his records from our registration, which means that he will not be registered anymore. And that we have decided that we are going to be selling him as well. He'll be going as a pet to somebody. You know, he would make a good companion animal. Or he could be used for food. And that may be something that comes down to it for us too, is if that we are unable to sell him, he gets to go to freezer camp. And that is kind of the sad life of a buck, is if they're not being used for breeding, they usually are weathered, and they either go as a pet, they could be a companion for other goats, or even horses too. Or they end up being eaten, which may be the case for poor Milk Dud. And it's kind of sad. We had such high hopes for this guy. And it really is kind of heartbreaking that this is going to happen. And I'm hoping that somebody decides they want him as a pet, because he's a sweetie and he's very pretty. Alright, so to band him, this is what we're going to be using here. It's just a banding tool, and then you have like your little green Cheerios. And all you're going to do is that you just put this over the end and then squeeze it. Oops. I didn't want to do that one. I don't want that one, too.
The pop did.
So all you're going to do is put it on the end, and then you're going to squeeze it open, see? And then we'll hold it this way as we slide it up over his testicles. And then we just slowly release it. Alright, so we've got him banded. We decided not to film it just because it has been such a long time since I have actually banded a goat. And I had to familiarize myself with doing it. But just kind of want to give y'all a quick view of what it actually looks like when they are banded. As you can tell, see the little green Cheerio? It's just right below his teats. and right above the testicles. So eventually that will just shrivel up and fall off. And he will be a wether then. Poor Milk Dud. Sometimes things can be made hard, and sometimes decisions are made for you. Because once we've discovered his little defect, we decided that right there that we can't use him for breeding. So there's not much other options for him. So we've kind of came to the decision that we are going to part with Miss Blackberry. And it's no fault of hers. It's just that she is struggling so much with this heat. We've barely been hitting 90s already, and it's just too much for this girl. I can't say that she's a little girl because she is such a big chunk. Like, she even has almost 2 dewlaps. It looks like we call her the dewlap queen. We call her the blobby. It's gonna be hard saying goodbye to her because she is such an amazing mother. Like, she has been one of our best mamas here for rabbits. So it's gonna be kind of sad saying goodbye to her. But she is going to a much better home. In fact, the lady that's taking her is going to have her in a climate controlled area. So she is going to be well pampered. Get so much attention, and she's going to be able to actually feel good. She's not going to be so hot and be suffering so much. Because even with the frozen water bottles and giving her a fan, it hasn't been enough for her. And so we're going to be saying bye to Miss Blackberry. I just like how she sinks her face down into her dewlap. She has given us so many wonderful babies. And it's going to be sad. It's going to be sad saying goodbye to her. We're hoping to keep at least one of her offspring. Her babies are 6 weeks old, and they're no longer nursing, so that will be good. We won't have to worry about them. And we plan on keeping one of hers. We're just watching them really closely to see how well they are handling the heat, and hoping that at least 1 or 2 will be able to handle it much better. Because I don't want to say goodbye to all of our rabbits. We are trying to come up with some ideas to help them, but it's been kind of hard to figure out what we can do in this heat. So it's gonna be sad, saying goodbye to Miss Blackberry here, our beautiful little dewlap queen. She's such a pretty girl. She really is. It's gonna be sad to say bye to her. So yeah, a couple of hard decisions that we are having to make. And there potentially could be more as time goes on. It depends on if we can actually establish a cool atmosphere for the rabbits to be able to help them survive through the summer. And then there has been some discussion about some of the other goats too. We're planning for the future. We're trying to help our animals and help us grow our herds and improve on them. And that's something, when you are raising higher quality animals, that you are trying to always improve on. Is you improve things for them and you improve things for yourself. Well, thanks for stopping by, and we will definitely keep y'all updated with things that's going on around here, whether it be some more hard decisions that we're coming to make, or maybe something else that we're introducing into the homestead. And y'all have a good day. Bye.